Today we're going to go ahead and replace a couple belts in this MacDon head here. We've gone ahead and already taken this splice off. Usually what you want to do is put that on the top side because it'd be so much easier to pull it out. You can see this one here has been flipped once. What happened, probably a bunch of stuff got underneath the deck plate there and caught it. So they flipped it once and it's kind of done it again. So we're going to go ahead and put new belts in. Take a 9/16 socket and go ahead and remove these two bolts so you can pull this flap up out of the way, because you'll want that out of the way when you go ahead and put the new belt in. And you'll go ahead and clean all that stuff out of there. And then we're going to go to the other side now and remove some things. Just click it anywhere in the rib. So you want to go ahead and pull that pin out and go ahead and take that nut off there and remove that skid shoe. Then up in there is two 5/8 bolts, a carriage bolt, so you need an extension with a 15/16 socket because you want to remove that shoe there. Then also what we're going to do is over here and remove about 5 of these poly pads here. I usually will number them so when you put them back on, they're kind of made to fit. You can leave the guards on. So you're going to just start pulling that top back all the way out. Once they get that out, now you can just start pulling down. That's how the old belt comes. So you ready? So on a new belt, this gap right in here is about 8 millimeters. So we're going to be checking our deck plate. I want that to be 10 millimeters. So I've got a 10 millimeter Allen wrench here, and you're going to see that leaves me 2 millimeters worth of gap. So now we're going to check our what we call our deck seal, and this is the deck plate, and it's adjustable. So my belt is 8 millimeters that needs to slide in there. Well, if it was too tight, it's going to drag that belt. If it's too loose, you'll have a lot of trash going through there. So a lot of times we'll just take a 10 millimeter wrench, so that gives me 2 millimeters, and you can see that this one here is pretty tight. That belt would be kind of dragging through there, especially on a new belt. So we're going to loosen these bolts up, 3/4 inch wrench, and we will tap that down till I can slide that in there, and that way I know I've got 2 millimeters of belt, so it's not dragging real hard on that new belt. So I've got the belt out. We're also going to make sure right where this deck hinges that bolt needs to turn. This is an FD75, and I'll see that they get rusted up, and what will happen is it will bust this little tab off, and then your whole belt will sit there, be out there flopping. So this one showed that it went ahead and turned, so it's good to check that when you're got the belt off. So we got our belt all laid out, and it's nice to have 3 guys, 2 can do it, and you can see how we kind of got it started. This is the reason we took them plastics off, so we can get this up underneath there. So the 2 guys on the side, they've got to push equal in, and there'll be a guy kind of always pulling, because eventually it will hit a tab. Yep. And you can see how he just keeps pulling that ahead. Have that some loose down there. And this other guy's continuously pulling. If it ever comes to a stop, a lot of times you got to go back, and one of these tabs will catch, and we'll just bounce it up like that. Now once he gets clear to the front, past the front roller, then he will go up above. Okay, go ahead. So now he got on top, and he's going to pull out about 6 feet. Those guys are still kind of pushing. If it ever gets caught, one of them guys needs to go ahead and kind of bounce it up. But if I can get 6 feet up there, we'll just float it to the top. So now he's going down to the other end. They're pushing it on up, and he's going to pull it on through. Go ahead. So he's going ahead and putting the splice bolts in. So we're going to go ahead and put the splice in, and you always have the head of the bolts going toward the feeder house. So we got our splice in, and clamp the vice grip really tight and move it on down right beside the bolt we're going to be tightening up so we don't snap them bolts off, because they are 1 1/8 inches, and you probably wouldn't have any if you snapped one off. So we got our belt all tucked in, got the skid shoe back on, so now we're going to go ahead and finish this job up. We just got to tighten the belt up. So right inside there, there's a white mark, and he's just going to keep tightening that till the outer edge, and you can start seeing it come across right there, is in the center. That's good.